Am I the only guy who thinks that races are boring as fuck? I don't think it's just a personalized opinion. I think it is fair to feel like races are boring as fuck. Like when you, for example, when you think of Earth, humans come to your brain, right? And when you think about D&D world, I feel like Dragonborn and Tiefling are comes to your mind. Those two races are in a way have a trademark on D&D world. To me, humans, elves, and dogs are like common, so I don't see them as like a special race or specific race. But to a game, a world that is based around fantasy, I feel like it is like it has its own flavor when you add a new race that the world is has its own, like the world has embodiment on it, or like the world has some name on it. Likewise, if you take Warhammer, Necrons and Kroot, on the other hand, I'm like, bruh, Croods are some good as race, man. Like that's some creative behind the shit. Space Marines, orcs, yeah, obviously those two are common. Orcs and Space Marines are just humans, and orcs are just orcs. So I don't like think about them like that. But Croods, that's it. That's what you want. The problem with other games that I have, even with the other tabletops, it's like every game has their own, I mean every game failed to have their own races and classes, and I feel like that's what make that game boring. Pixies, fairies, sprites are pretty much common in every tabletop RPGs. At least to me, I can't think of a specific race for a specific game other than it being a furry or related to some kind of animal. Like you have cats, you have dogs, you have skeletons, you have lizards, you have dragons. Like those are some furry shit, or those are like associated with animals. I don't want to include that shit. When I talk about tieflings, I mean dragonborns are obviously dragons, and tieflings are just devils with horns or like horn people. So you guys can like take out D&D races, but like Warhammer, to me, Warhammer personally did it perfectly. Where Croods have their own identity, origin, story, lore perfectly, as well as Necrons. So when a game that is based around fantasy and RPG role playing, or giving the illusion of giving the player the illusion of they have the freedom to pick what they want to play, I want them to have, or I feel like the game should have its own specificity, so that it is unique to that game. I have been playing a lot of Guild Wars recently, and Guild Wars, again, the problem with the Guild Wars, I can't say problem. It's like Guild Wars only have like this human uh gnome or elves, I guess, and like a lion, like a furry, again a furry for its rates. It's like human. You have Char is the furry one. You have the snow people. You have normal humans. You have elves, and you have the short ones. I think those are goblins or gnomes. I am not being racist, but I can't remember them. To me, a game that is good, but it's basic. I am not thinking about the furry race like that's Guild Wars. No, it's to me it's just basic. Now that I've been playing a lot of Warhammer, I feel like that's what a game needs, is that a specific race that is, when you say the name of that fantasy, that race comes to your mind. For example, if you say Lord of the Rings, elves comes to your mind, kinda. When you say D&D, tieflings and dragonborn comes to your mind. When you say Warhammer, orcs and crows come to your mind. When you say World of Warcraft, obviously orcs are gonna come to your mind. you know so me, when I'm working on my game recently, I feel like I have to do that some research based around it. Make sure to have my own games unique and creative race, so that people can remember it. So that's why I'm making this video, to cross check my facts with you guys. And second thing that I want to do is like have a race and have its own unique gameplay. I don't want, I mean, passive abilities are good, but I feel like I also want to figure out a way to add a unique gameplay that changes your game. I'm not saying using Goliath on a berserk is like good. I don't want that type of passive ability boost where you pick fairy for a wizard, or a Goliath or a rock genasi for a barbarian slash fighter. I don't want that stereotypical or a passive ability boost. I literally want like a game mechanic where this race has this specific game mechanic, and only this race has this specific game mechanic. You can play any sorry, you can play any characters, I mean any class you want. You can be a barbarian, you can be a wizard, you can be a tank, I mean paladin, you can be a paladin, you can play whatever class you want. But this race has this specific game mechanic that is unique to the classes and the other races. I don't want this class to have a passive ability that boosts a specific class. No, I want this race to have a specific gameplay, yeah, specific unique gameplay that is completely unrelated to any other classes around it in the game. So yeah, this is some race, most races thought I have been having recently, and I just want to share it with you guys. Now get the feedback on how you guys are feeling it. Do you guys want to be racist or not? I really want your guys' opinion. I personally feel like in games racism should be there. In real life, racism should not be there, but people are obviously not going to listen to me. But I prefer no racism in real life and total racist war in like games. I don't know. I feel like that adds lore and unique player bases to it. I can see it going the wrong way, yeah, because races. It talks about racism. People want to be, people want to play a few things, but like as a game designer wise and a game wise, like and player wise, I feel like adding a specific unique race to this fantasy world puts a more uniqueness to this world that I am creating, and puts a specific flavor to this. I am gonna add humans, but I don't think I want to add elves or a dwarf or a orcs, so that I don't want to add the basics one. So yeah, this is a mind or a brain thought, or a this is like a session that I had personally, and I just want to share it with you guys. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys on another video. Bye.